Good night. So I'm back at the hostel, of course, and feeling fine. I mean, after kind of like so I mean, I don't need to share everything with my subscribers, but yes, yes. I mean, maybe it's not, even though I don't need to, and I don't need to share everything, and it's probably not in order like to share everything. But maybe it's not completely. I mean, for some, at least for a segment of the audience, maybe it's not completely like out of the agenda or out of the professional interest to acknowledge the fact that yes, it was a toilet related issue, but it's now all clear and I'm feeling much better. So soon I will start. As I promised, I will hold another. Video in the Ziggurat of Ur saga and historical events, and also create more sculptures, more eggs. This time with the material from the newly created Crucible. But before we actually do it, what I want to do, I'm not in a mood for it at all, but it's actually important to do it for scientific purposes. We are still scientists in some capacity, so I've taken 2 slides from actually the material inside the large container, the new Crucible, which is made of stuff that were taken from the from the glass Crucible, and also additions from the metallic containers. So I've taken 2 samples, so we'll watch it. And also, before the experiment, I actually taken 2 samples from one from the glass, the red glass container, and one from the Ner Neshama, the soul candle container. So maybe if I'll have the energy, we'll actually watch these ones too. But we'll start with the new ones that I've just taken from the Crucible. Again, I'm not in a mood for it, so probably fly over it very quickly and not in in a scientific way at all, and not in a rigorous way, because I want to continue with the talks and the sculptures. It's more important for me right now, but the documentation is needed. And yes, we've created this fire, and it was a very big one, as you've seen in the videos, and so yes, the documentation is needed. Of course, I did not watch it before. I will watch it with you for the first time. Maybe we will not be able to see anything, because it's supposed to be very quick review. So we'll have for future reference. So as I said, we're starting with the 2 slides that were taken from the Crucible. Right now. After the fire that you've seen in the previous short videos today. Okay, so let's start. 64, this is the slide, 64 magnification, let's start. You see, I mean, the very big things I'm not sure that are, maybe they are Neros, maybe they were Neros in the past and they changed, because they don't have like, I mean, yes, we see Neros inside this big one, but the big one I'm not sure if it's Nero or not. I mean, it's kind of like it's twisted shape. And here we see a lot of like life forms. No, this is actually burned cotton, not life form. We saw very big life forms, but not, I mean, the typical smaller ones. Maybe they couldn't stand the Crucible, the newly Crucible. But what are these? Are these Nero, like, I mean, transformed Neros or huge life forms that, I mean, that can withstand the heat in the newly Crucible? I just don't know. The difference in change in focus between, I mean, inside and outside of this black ellipse, I mean, signifies it's kind of like, I mean, it demonstrates the Stargate properties, which is very interesting. So yes, I'm beginning to be more certain that this is actually what you see now is very big twisted Neros, like, I mean, deformed Neros. But maybe it's okay. Maybe we don't have to be like. Maybe the very big ones don't need to be like perfect circles. I mean, they are almost never perfect circles actually, even when they are smaller. And we see smaller one inside the bigger one, which is typical. I mean, it's something that you see quite a bit. This is a very nice one. Maybe you should zoom into it. Nice. Not much life forms actually. So I mean, so there is, I mean, we can say pretty, I mean, confident. It's pretty, I mean, in very confident way, manner that there is a limit to, I mean, to how much temperature and how much fire these life forms can actually withstand. Yes, they can withstand things that normal life forms, like carbon-based life forms that you know of, cannot withstand at all. Like, I mean, including be burned like in firing pit for like 15 minutes or so. But no, I mean, when they are placed in this newly Crucible with, I mean, that you've seen it was tremendous fire for quite a bit of time. So yes, I mean, we can say very confidently that this is a very nice one. We can say very confidently that most of them are actually, most of the life forms just died. But the Neros stayed intact and probably even got bigger. But most of the life form, I mean, was destroyed now. But we still see very big ones that were actually, I mean, survived even in this fire. Very nice Neros. So the Neros, I mean, they don't have problem with even with this kind of fire. Of course, we can make even larger crucibles with more enriched fuel and possibly, I mean, longer duration of burn. The reason why, I mean, I intentionally do not keep it burning, I mean, until the end, because I want to have some of the material left. Actually, I burn too much because now it contains no liquid at all. I mean, only remnants of the wax and a lot of ash and burned material. So I'll probably add oil to the mixture and let it, I mean, rest for a couple of days before I do any more research with it. So many very big Neros, which is great. This is actually great. Many big Neros, twisted, but I mean, still fine. Very beautiful Neros, but no beautiful big Neros, but not much life forms. So they just presumably they were just burned like in the Crucible. So even though I mean, sometimes you see very big ones that were not burned. Okay, so let's review the second slide from, I mean, the same mixture right now. I've taken two, I mean, you know, to be more like statistically significant, as they say. So here we see actually more life forms. burnt material, but also life forms. In a more pronounced, also Neros, in a more pronounced way than I mean in the other slide. So yes, we see, I mean, a lot of burnt material, but also Neros and also life forms, not many. But some survived actually this firing pit. Mostly they did not. But the Neros are, I mean, having the time of their life in this kind of fire. They are very special kind of like superconductors. They are superconductors. I mean, at least according to my estimation. I've spoken about it in the past. I don't want to speak too much about it, even though, of course, it's very interesting. And if you're new to this channel or relatively new, probably you really are. You really, I mean, you know, I mean, you're interested in physics. Maybe, I mean, you're very interested in this aspect because I claim that I have in my body, I mean, and I can actually manufacture out of my body room temperature superconductors, which is something that, I mean, is not known to humans at all. But so I mean, maybe if you want me to reiterate or to, I mean, replay the old videos, I can do it. Just, I mean, tell me, write me in the comments. But I just say that, I mean, I'm not 100% certain that they are room temperature superconductors, but this depends on definition. So perhaps they are like they manifest. I mean, the most important characteristic of superconductors, which means that they do not lose. I think that the most important thing is that they do not lose. That they conduct electricity without losing energy to heat. So perhaps, I mean, they only do it like in the temperature of like -20 Celsius. So this is still a room, but maybe in Alaska or like, you know, Siberia. But I mean, they still lose very, very little amount of energy to heat, even like in temperature that are far above like what is considered room temperature, like 50 or 60 or 70 Celsius, like inside the boiling electrolysis chamber. But yes, they prefer the icy environment for certain. They work much better inside the freezer. This was demonstrated right from the beginning. But we see that they actually, I mean, they grow and I mean, and I mean, they're having fun even inside of like a burning crucible, which is something that, of course, this is atypical for any kind of conductors because as I understand, almost all conductors are actually losing their conductivity when they are exposed to so much heat if they are not melting. But I mean, who says? I mean, still, I mean, maybe they are so good at like superconductivity that, I mean, they're actually independent of temperature, which is kind of amazing. Or maybe they just don't. I mean, they just use a parallel way of like, I mean, energizing themselves. I mean that yes, they like electricity very much and they do great stuff with energy, electricity, but maybe there is like a parallel, I mean, path of directly using heat energy. So they become bigger in the fire without the usage of electricity. Very nice ones. Wow, so many nice ones. So many nice ones. So yeah, so well, we can say again that, I mean, we've seen, we see very little life forms relatively to what we've seen before. Mostly they were just burned, but the Neros are having a good time and they are multiplying and, I mean, becoming bigger. And this is all very, very successful from my, I mean, point of view, because, I mean, I'm not particularly interested in the life form, but more in the Neros. So we should actually continue, I mean, experimentation with this Crucible and a smaller one, which is great. Maybe later today or maybe tomorrow we'll actually review the slides, I mean, taken before the fire, but I mean, I don't have like the energy to do it now, so we'll skip it. What I will do with this material, some of it I will actually use it in the newly constructed eggs. So the eggs will contain like ejaculation with, I mean, in toilet paper wrapped in nylon, and another layer which is kind of like mixture of ash and oil and beeswax and the materials that you've just seen, which is mostly, I mean, little bit of life form, but mostly Neros in relatively big form. And I'll wrap it in aluminium foil and then 2 layers of clay. So this is, I mean, the agenda for, I mean, the 30 or so, I mean, pieces of paper that I wrapped in nylon that I currently have, and I want to create eggs out of it. And so that's it for now. Shortly, I will conduct a new episode in the Sigurd of Ur saga.